Good evening and welcome to Angel's Haven. So after that hour-long video about foolishness in the house, this is going to be a very short video. And I want to address a very specific thing, which is having things that you need in your tiny house, but that aren't so pretty. In your traditional house, where you have a living room, maybe a small study, maybe you have an extra bedroom, those things that you need can be in a room where your visitors don't normally frequent. In a tiny house, it's like living in a hotel room or a studio apartment. The things that you need and have to have are going to be right there when visitors come. In this particular case, because I write and I own a shop where I need to print things, I have to have a printer. I can print at work, but I need to print randomly whenever I'm making something, a sign for the shop, or I've written something that I want to read in hard copy. And when I first moved here to this tiny house, I had my printer on my desk, which didn't really work out very well for various reasons. And eventually my desk ended up becoming my gardening table on the porch, which is kind of unfortunate because I thought it was all hardwood and parts of it were not. Parts of it were plywood, and those parts have gotten damaged in the weather. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So people would come in and there would be my printer. And then when I moved, at least it was up in the loft, I'm pointing, there's the loft up there, because that was my writing room. But then when I moved my bedroom up there, my printer either had to be down in the sitting room or it had to be on a table in my bedroom. It's really been unfortunate. So I ended up putting it under a table, which means it's not visible to visitors, but it also means it's hard for me to reach because it's basically on the floor. And so I've been trying to think of a solution for that, and I think I might have come up with something I bought it new, which is unusual for me, but I'm going to show it to you, and it's actually very nice. It's nicer than I realized. So I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to deploy it and see if it works. And then if it does work, then it means then I'll be able to get to my printer more easily. If I were fully able-bodied, this would not be that much of an issue because I could just reach under the table and get what I printed or whatever. But I'm not, and so I can't really get down as low as the floor. And I had solved that problem, I thought, by putting the printer on a rolling one of those round rolling plant stands. You'll see it in a minute. And that works to pull it in and out from under the table, but it's still kind of low. So I found something at Marshall's. It's actually quite lovely. You'll see it in a minute, and I'm going to try it and see if it works. I feel like I've done nothing but bleed money for 7 years trying to make my tiny house perfect for me. And right now it's a little more cluttered than I like. I got some boxes shipped to me from my sister. They're sitting out. I have a lot of things on tables. I need to declutter. But, living in any home is ever evolving. I used to think that my home evolved because I wasn't happy in it. And now I think my home evolves because I like pretty things. And when I find them, I want them out. And maybe I need to edit, or maybe I just need to recognize that I like to have a lot of pretty things around. I look at pictures of my house when it was completely empty, and I think, oh, you could see the wood, there was no fabric anywhere, there were no pictures on the wall, it's so lovely. And then I think, it's so empty. So anyway, I'm going to show you this, and we'll see if it works together. So this is the table, and I have it sideways, but in the final analysis, I'm going to turn it around so the drawers are in the front. We were doing some moving around, and that's it ended up sideways completely by accident. So there's the printer under it, and it is sitting on a round plant stand, the kind of metal iron one on casters. And of course it's sideways because the table currently is sideways. But the goal is, you can see that it's quite low, and that's really hard for me. And the goal is to have the table turned frontwise, where it's supposed to be, and have that printer up a little higher, and take the plant roller thing back out in the garden where it belongs. Excuse me, I have a lot of big plants out there and I could use it. I actually bought it for a big jade plant that started out as a 25-cent cutting 7 years ago and now needs its own zip code, so I do need that outside. It has worked, but not perfectly. So, in order to solve this problem, I was at Marshall's today, and I saw this, which is, oh, it's quite heavy. It is, I think it's supposed to be a little bench, and it is, again, I bought it at Marshall's. It's actually surprisingly well made, considering I bought it at Marshall's. And it is, I forget the wood, it was $24.99, and it is, let me see, made in India. I can't quite see the label because I can't bend over, hence the need for the printer to be higher. It says, made by hand. Somewhere it says what kind of wood it is. Important information. Maximum standing weight. I'm not going to stand on it. I thought it said what kind of wood it is. Hang on. I can't hold the phone to record and the bench and read the label. So, fabricated in India. Oh, that's not even English. I'm going to pause and turn the label around. Well, it didn't ever say what kind of wood it was. It just said, don't stand on it 15 times. Made in English, bring the beauty of India. Made in India, excuse me. Natural materials and specialized techniques. Important information. Weight load not to exceed 300 pounds. Well, my printer doesn't weigh 300 pounds, so we're safe there. So anyway, it's actually pretty nice. I like it a lot, and it was $25. I wish I knew what kind of wood it was, though. But the table under which it's going to be deployed It's tiger oak. And I bought this at an antique store here in California. I really, really like this table. And I keep thinking, it's too big. It's not very useful. I just put stuff on top of it. But look at it. It's beautiful. How can you not like that table? So anyway, I'm going to turn the table around, put the printer on the bench, and see if it works. So I'll keep you posted. Sorry it's so dark. It's actually night outside, and I don't want to use... Here's my dumb overhead light, and it's just glaringly bright. So anyway, I'm going to try this and see if it works. So I got the table turned around, and this is an example of the inconvenience of being mobility impaired. So I can't get down low enough to lift the printer, pull the wheeling thing out. I think what I should do is wheel it out, put it on the bench, and then scoot it in on the bench. What do you think? Because I can't really get down low enough to lift the printer. This would be a great time for Michelle to be here. But I'm going to need two hands. By the way, update on the tripod. I did find it. I just haven't used it yet. So I'm going to pull the printer out on the wheeling thing. And then I'm going to put it on the bench. And then the problem is... we'll see. It might be that it's hard to turn the bench around once it's under there. What do you think? Am I an idiot? Don't answer that question. Do not leave a comment below as to whether you think I'm an idiot. But I'm going to turn the phone recording off, and I'm going to try to move this, and I'll update you. And there you have it. It fits. It's a little higher than I can comfortably access the printer to make a copy, but I can certainly print with it. And I just turn it sideways and slide it out of there on the bench. I have the hiccups. How sad is that? You can see the skeleton key of that tiger oak table. That came like that, with the little pom-pom dangling from it. So cute. But there you go. So, a lot of people that have tiny houses have built-in furniture. I don't really care for the idea of built-in furniture, so I have real furniture, like you would have in a traditional house. I have a little rocking chair. I have Tim Anderson's chair. I have the tiger oak table. That's my ex-husband's Amish table, which he gifted me in his will. And I have my other ex-husband's Amish table, which he let me take with me when we got divorced, because he knew I liked Amish tables in my angel collection. I just think built-in furniture is useful. I think if you're traveling in your tiny house, built-in furniture is good, but I'm stationary here at Park Delta Bay, and I like having real furniture. So you do you, but this is what a tiny house can look like. I did a video one time and someone said, you have too much stuff. I didn't have nearly as much stuff as I do now. But there's no rule. So if you like stuff in your tiny house, you can have stuff. But the stuff we don't want our visitors to see, like our printers, this is the kind of thing that makes it work. So, thank you for spending a few minutes of my tiny life with me. I'll see you next time.